Mental health has a big influence on our thinking, feeling, and behavioural patterns. From a child to an adult, our mental health affects our quality of life at every single stage. Stay tuned for some tips on supporting yours and others' mental health. What's going on, guys? Richard Rozza with the Personal Development Channel. Today, I'll be going through some items that could help yours and others' mental health. For anyone new, I'm not a psychologist, but I have been in the field of learning and development for around 14 years with coaching credentials in NLP, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if at any point you like what you see, then give it a little like. Let's get to it. We're all fighting with tough times. The shadows of fear are getting deeper into the whole world. Each one of us is concerned about our health. Along with physical health, our mental health is the most important, but the most neglected aspect in today's world. In these harsh times, our mental health is at risk. Mental health has a big influence on our thinking, our feeling, and our behavioural patterns. From a child to an adult, mental health affects our quality of life at every stage. But unfortunately, mental disorders are getting more common day by day. More and more people are suffering from issues like anxiety, bipolar, depression and schizophrenia, especially in these uncertain times. Today, we're going to be discussing a few small changes we can adapt in everyday lifestyle, which can contribute towards good mental health. So, the first one is rest and sleep, and that should be your priority. We all crave for a good night's sleep, but we often don't get it due to our always busy schedules. Sleep deprivation has multiple problems. Cutting back on sleep sounds like a smart move, but it could also be the worst thing you're doing with yourself. Resting and mental health are closely related. It can simply be achieved by adjusting your caffeine use, the time you stop having any kind of caffeine versus when you would like to sleep, reducing your screen time, and again when you stop looking at a screen versus when you want to sleep, and doing some physical exercise. If you're someone who struggles to sleep, something that has taken me personally a long time to adjust, these little tips can make a big difference in your life. You might not need all of these tips, but for some of you it might just be worth trying these out and seeing what works for you. But most certainly, stopping having caffeine later on in the afternoon, if you drink coffee or you have any kind of caffeine, it doesn't have to just be coffee, it can be tea. But, you know, and start getting yourself away from a computer screen. I've got my computer set up right here, right next to me, and it's probably where I spend the majority of my time. If I'm not writing or I'm not recording, I have a full-time job for those of you that don't know me. I'm in front of my computer a lot, so I'm having to actively now start making time in my schedule to make sure I'm getting away from it. It helps just in general anyway, but it also is going to help you if you switch off from this stuff at least an hour as minimum before you're going to go to bed or you'd like to go to sleep. Okay, the next one is take a break. A change of scene or a change of pace is good for your mental health. It could be a 5-minute pause from cleaning your kitchen, a half-hour lunch break at work, or a weekend exploring somewhere new. A few minutes can be enough to de-stress you, give yourself some me time. Taking a break may mean being very active, or it may mean just not doing anything at all. Listen to your body. If you're really tired, give yourself some time to sleep. Without good sleep, our mental health suffers and our concentration goes downhill. Sometimes the world can wait. Stay close to nature. Sounds strange? Well, spending quality time around nature has a positive effect on your mental health. You may have noticed your mood alterations with the changing of weather. When the sun's shining bright, many of us seem happier. Studies have shown that time spent in the wilderness can improve your mood. I'm not asking you to now all go away and be Bear Grylls and do some crazy shit, but just getting away into nature can have positive effects. In fact, I have now started to get cravings to be out in the nature. Started a couple of weeks back. And I started planning a little trek somewhere. I know because of COVID-19, I shouldn't really be going out anywhere. But I've pretty much been stuck in my apartment for about 4.5 months. I've really not gone anywhere. I've been out in my car about 2 or 3 times. So I planned a little trek and I went last weekend. And it just did me the world of good. So, but that's somewhere where there's absolutely nobody around. Obviously, you're going to need to bear in mind you need to keep your social distancing if there's people around. And if you can't get out, as odd as this may sound, practice activities like walking barefoot on your grass, or if you've got a garden, especially if it's wet, it feels nice. You can also do meditation. Meditation helps you being closer to nature if that's what you're going to focus on. So there's lots of different ways you can get around this, especially if you're stuck somewhere where you can't actually get out, which I know some people are, unfortunately. Okay, the next one on my list is something that a lot of us just don't do. Ask for help when you need it. Don't feel ashamed when your stress is triggered in these difficult times. It is completely fine. You are not alone. Ask for help from people around you, and when you feel like they can't help, arrange sessions with a qualified therapist, a psychiatrist, or a coach that specialises in emotions and mental health. For anyone who ever needs to talk and you don't know who to go to, you can go over to my Instagram page and you can DM me. I'll do my best to help, and if I can't help, I will do exactly what I just said there, which is I would refer you to somebody else who I feel could probably help me more. Okay, the next one on my list is experiment. Yes, experiment. You're thinking, what? Yeah, while we are all home, try to experiment with new things. The excitement of experimenting helps you to keep happy and healthy. Try a new recipe, paint, write a story or a poem, renovate your room. It can reduce your stress levels as creative expression and overall well-being are directly proportional. Okay, the next one on my list is what I'm going to be calling make a furry friend. Yes, I know it sounds a bit strange, but coronavirus has limited us at our homes, but thankfully some of you will have your pets. Spending time with animals can lower your stress hormone cortisol and boosts oxytocin, which can stimulate sentiments of happiness. But if you don't have a pet, don't worry. You can volunteer at a shelter, hang out with a friend who has a pet, or you could think about adopting, but I would highly recommend you think that through thoroughly. Because what I don't want is for people to now listen to this and then go away and get a pet and you're not ready to actually have one. Personally, wouldn't have a pet. That's for a couple of reasons myself, but I'll share it with you why. Although I would love a pet and I have thought about it, especially recently as well, I know that I have so much to do. I really do genuinely keep myself very, very busy. To add something else to that mix, something's going to have to give. And what I would never want is it for it to be, an animal that I'm having to look after. If I was to take on a pet, I'd have to make sure I have got the time to give it the love and attention it would need. And I would expect, whoever is listening to this to be able to do the same as well. Do never get a pet, never get an animal or someone you're going to look after unless you're going to be able to devote your time and energy to looking after them. Okay, challenge time. Theoretically, this should be the easiest of challenges I have ever set. I want you to simply plan a few breaks in your days. Time where you plan to do something for yourself that you enjoy doing. Plan a few calls with family or friends. You don't need to tell them, but you can plan it yourself. And finally, a small activity outside of your home if you can get away somewhere. But keep social distancing in mind. Ideally a non-tourist spot or a nice walk somewhere. It can even be somewhere close to your home, but just somewhere where there's no one around. And if you can't do that and you can't get out, that's absolutely fine. And it's not something you should be doing often. It's just every now and again when you feel you need it. But if you've got space to do it, then great. If you haven't, then try and do some meditation, as I said earlier on in the video. I've started to get into meditation recently, and it can really help. Share your challenge experience with us in the YouTube comments, or you can go over to our Instagram page and you can tag us by using @RozzaMindset. That's it for today, everyone. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. Give it a little like. If you would like me to expand on or create a single episode on anything else in more detail, then please comment below and we'll have a look into it. If you think this could help anybody that you know, then please share. And finally, come and join us in our community on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. All of the links are in the description below. This has been Richard Rozza. Stay safe and keep active.